What legacy meant to me before I had kids was what kind of football player are they going to remember? And when you have kids, that changes.
That's when we said, okay, we need to have this conversation. What's to happen if something were to happen? Life can change in a second. Knowing that my loved ones, my husband and my daughters are taken care of, it was a huge relief.
I was actually talking to Paige Volovich, who I love, who has been a friend at QVC for years with her expertise, everything from capturing memories to now giving us what I call that peace of mind. And we were chatting before the show, and I said it wasn't until I recently read an article that this whole will-based individual or couple estate planning, and it doesn't mean that you have to be a millionaire.
No, it doesn't.
It doesn't mean that you have to make tons of money. It doesn't mean that you have to even own your own home. If you or someone you love is over 18, I'm telling you, this is going to be the most important presentation that you ever watched at QVC. It's our today's special value. And our value of the day is broken up two ways. If it's you, then you're going to do the individual. And that would be $218 if purchased separately. We have a savings of $118. Then, if you are in a relationship, if you're a couple, if purchased separately, we're talking about $318. That is a savings of $148. It's an easy step-by-step process, no matter where you are in your life or where you live. But this configuration is exclusive to QVC. Now, we've sold over 32,000. But if this was going to be a today's special value, then we really needed to make it a today's special value page. So this is the lowest price we've ever offered on a will-based estate planning for either couples or just for you. Or maybe you get it for you and your spouse and you buy a couple for your kids. You buy several individual, because this is the lowest price that we're going to see. But the price does go up at the end of the day. And now I know I'm going into Doll 10 Beauty and then a couple hour of shoes, because we've moved earlier because you've asked for it. So we're not going to be seeing a lot of presentations from here to the end of the day. It's already 4 o'clock. So the price is going up in 8 hours. I guess the first thing we should do is kind of start at the top row and work our way down. Why this company to trust something as important as the legacy of our lives, right?
Indeed. Well, they are absolutely groundbreaking, Jane. They've revolutionized the way that we plan for our family's future. We plan for our legacy. This all came about because what they know is our will is the most overlooked aspect of our financial wellness. We'll have 401ks, we'll have investments, we'll think about college, but this we often put off because, Jane, it feels, when you say will, you see people's visceral reaction. Their facial expressions change. Maybe there's guilt, maybe there's fear, there's pain, and they've taken something that maybe felt heavy, shifted it into something that's really just a questionnaire. You'll see me, like Jane and I are smiling and happy because this is the most important, valuable, beautiful gift you can give your family. You're essentially giving them an instruction manual.
Even if your kids are over 18, and I can't stress that enough. But I guess we would say, obviously, this is a company we've known and loved. We've sold 32,000. Today is the lowest price that we've ever seen it, and the price does go up at the end of the day. But like, why do we even need one? We might just say, well, I live in an apartment, and you know, when I hear the word, see the word trust, has nothing to do with that. You don't have to be that baby. Why do I even need one?
Oh, millions of reasons. When you're 18 years old, this is the most basic document that you really should have for your children. It decides the distribution of your assets, your pets, your property, your possessions, guardianship of your children, final wishes, healthcare electives, and I can't wait to share that with you. And it becomes this plan. But if you look at this here, you'll realize, first and foremost, Jane, I'm going to talk about the elephant in the room. When you don't have a will, family conflict. Clear communication and having that laid out is going to be the gift you give your family, because otherwise they're going to speculate. They may argue, may worry about, did they do right by you? And then if you don't have a will, it also becomes this logistical nightmare. It's stressful. It is a financial burden. So we want to remove that, because otherwise you are leaving that mess for your family. And we don't want to do that because they love you so much that they want to celebrate your life. And this takes out all that mess, makes it easy. All you do, Jane, you're going to get this voucher home. You're going to follow the steps. We put that activation code. There'll be one here. It unlocks your will. And then I know we're talking about an online platform, but it's just a questionnaire. They ask you questions, Jane, and you answer where you live, your date of birth, all that. Well, the state that you reside in creates a state-specific will. It's so easy.
So here's how easy it is, because you might say, oh, do I have to call a lawyer? Or, oh, what do I have to do? This is it, right,
This
Paige?
is it. So you're just going through, you select the will, and then it immediately starts asking you questions about you, your date of birth, where you live, and then immediately it goes into, do you have children? Would you like to have a guardian assigned? Would you like a backup for that guardian? Would you like a backup to the backup? And the same for your pet. That's been a huge aha here. We didn't realize we needed that guardianship. It'll ask about your investments. It'll ask about power of attorney. We've included so many healthcare decisions as well. This is comprehensive. At the end of this, you're going to have HIPAA rights, you're going to have a power of attorney, you're going to have a living will, so that you have all those decisions in the place if you're unable medically or you're incapacitated. And then you're going to have final arrangements. You're going to have guardianship for your pets. This is everything under one banner. You've made those decisions.
Did you guys see what the time elapse was at the end of that?
20 seconds.
20
minutes. 20 minutes.
20
done.
minutes.
Yes.
For your life. And Paige is being very nice, because sometimes our families don't get along. Sometimes we all don't agree. And so I always say the greatest gift my dad gave, because I was the executrix of his will, was the fact that everything was in its place. Of course, those of us that knew Rudy, everything was nailed down. He was ill just for the last few weeks of his life. I knew what I needed to do, and it made it so much easier knowing I was doing what Rudy wanted me to do. And I had zero regrets. And I still talk about him every single day. But I want to talk about you if you're a parent, because I was sharing with Paige, I recently read this article that stopped me in my tracks, and it was from a mom and dad saying, please make sure all of your children who are 18 years old have that health care information, because if God forbid something would happen to them, and it's what happened in this family's life, they had no control, zero control over their daughter's health and decisions that were being made because she was over 18 years old. I was like, oh my gosh. So your kids might be in college and they don't have a pet and they don't have a job, and you know, you've got the student loans coming in just for health care. Please, 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 for children that are over 18 and up.
That's right.
It just stopped me in my tracks. And I know, then you say, well, what do I do? Like, I don't want to upset my kid. I don't have the money to spend. At $99.98 for your kids or grandkids, and an easy pay that will also go up and away at the end of the day, because right now it's a $20 bill a month for 5 easy payments for the individual, just a little more for the couple. I think it was just sort of maybe meant to be that I read that article a couple weeks ago, and then here you're sitting next to me with this value of the day.
Thank you for pointing that out. That's something I've been so passionate about, because when your children turn 18, to Jane's point, they're the boss now. But what if someone lives far away? If there's a medical emergency, the doctors can't talk to you on the phone, Jane. They're going to make those decisions for you, and it's going to be painful and stressful while you're trying to travel there, right? So you have hours before, and even once you get there, you have no say. That alone is worth the price of admission. We've included the will, HIPAA, and what I enjoy about that HIPAA aspect is the ability to share your medical information and your files. Well, Jane, your DNA is connected to your daughters, as are mine, so I want them to have that critical data, because that may help them later in life with their doctors. Power of attorney, that's also included. So I have a dear friend who was moving during, she was buying a house but had to travel for work. Power of attorney was able to go to the closing and handle that. So a power of attorney can handle medical, legal, or financial matters for you. Everything we're offering today, you can make it as simple or sophisticated. You don't have to opt into everything. That's for you to decide. But I'll tell you, This option versus going to the law office, sitting there, which I was overwhelmed 15 years ago, Jane, $1,500.
Oh my gosh.
I didn't know the legal jargon. I think I just said yes to everything because I was embarrassed. You're getting educated, and as you answer these questions, it'll actually nudge you and say, most commonly answered. If not, call them on the phone, email. They're trained in grief counseling. They know how to navigate delicate situations, US-based, ready to help you.
Wow. And the lowest price that we've ever offered.
Yes.
So we're making it as easy as it can be. The only thing is it is so low, we can only do it for today. So what, and that means the price goes up. It's already $415, already 300 ordered, and I'm really proud of all of you. That's 5,000 for the day, over 300 in the show. Once you do that quick, and it took 20 minutes when you saw that online, then what happens next, Paige?
So what's awesome is you have two options. So for me, I did my will on the way to the airport because my children were little and I knew I wouldn't have a good time till I had the will. Here to find out, a lot of us do that. You are finished, you can hit finalize, you can print instantly. But there's also, my favorite part is they send you these beautiful curated packages that are all about you. You have your will in the blue, you have your healthcare, which is your healthcare decisions, your power of attorney, living will. And then all you need to do, Jane, is I'm gonna open this up. You're gonna take these documents to a local notary. My bank does it for free. You take these, you sign it in front of them, they notarize it with their stamp, they're gonna stamp it, and then presto, a legally binding document. And guess what happens that night? Best night's sleep ever, because you knew that you did right by your family, you put your affairs in order.
Right.
It's so easy.
For everybody over 18, which is kind of an eye-opening aha moment. And I think a lot of us do it because maybe it's fear of death. I was just watching the Diane von Furstenberg amazing documentary. Yes, QVC is in it. I'm so amazed that I'm in it. But anyway, I was just watching it, and she talks about her view of death is so positive and so different. And she says, but my husband doesn't even want to hear this. He doesn't want to speak this way. I think that this is something that is going to happen. A friend used to say to me, we're always so shocked when somebody passes away. And obviously we are, but it's part of life. My dad used to call it his next great adventure. So when you look at what's gonna happen to every single one of us, no matter where we live or what we do or what we own or what we don't own, this is just peace of mind. And even if you don't have children, you probably will be leaving something. Like we said, maybe it's a cat, maybe it's a home, maybe it's the contents of your home in an apartment. What's gonna happen? Help your relatives, help your friends, help everyone. And do it today at the lowest price we've ever done, with a price that is going up in about 7 hours and 45 minutes. I think we have some more video we want to run as well, Paige.
And what's so cool about this whole system, it's an online platform. So you can do this on your computer.
So people may
phone.
say, is it safe? Is it safe?
Oh, thank you for asking, because it is bank level encryption. This is a vault. They worked very hard, just like you would really insure your finances to a bank and doing online. It's the same, because they want to make sure you can access this anywhere, anytime. Our Pat Dementry did her will on her phone while waiting in the car for her daughter. So giving that flexibility. And then you'll see here, once you're finished in 5 to 7 days, this is the package that is sent home to you. It is your will, it is your healthcare decisions. And then you're just taking these documents to the notary. You're going to get it notarized, you're going to sign it, and then it's that legally binding document. Now, Jane, my parents were much like your father, very organized, and every time they went on a trip, my dad would take me over, show me the filing cabinet, where this form is and that. I call it my knucklehead moment. After I did my will 15 years ago, I thought I was so smart, and I put it in a safety deposit box and I locked it. I didn't share it. I didn't tell anyone where it was. My roadmap was useless. So they give you the capability to also share this online. So instead of my dad showing the filing cabinet, you can send it to your children. You can send it to a sister. You can send it to anyone that maybe is in the will, or you want them to know where it is. All those new nuances to a will. Plus, Jane, there's also online assets, what people don't realize. Your online banking, social media, your online photos. You can actually curate and plan your celebration of life. All little things that'll give you peace of mind, and for your children. You can customize all these notes inside, or you can keep it very basic, super easy.
And we want you to hold on to your assets.
Yes,
we really do.
we do.
And that's why not only is this the lowest price we found at QVC, and over 5,000 people are making such a great decision for themselves and maybe for their families. I mean, you can buy this today for your kids, and then the next time they're home or before they go off to college, maybe they're turning 18, and say, all right, let's just do this. Let's get through it. They'll whip through it probably in faster than 20 minutes, and then we're done. But let's talk about savings, because if you purchased this anyplace else, you'd be spending for the individual $218. We're at under $100, so that means you're saving $118. You're actually saving more than you're spending if you are in a relationship, if you are married, if you just got married. And these moments are usually when we all go, ooh,